Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to another Tea with JD. It's been a half minute, half hot minute, half 45 seconds. Still not a hot minute. I've been a bit more constant here, but hopefully this will be the first of a couple of videos that I can share with you. And it is a manuscript Tuesday Muslim. It's not Monday, but it's a manuscript update, or more than that. It's me letting you know where I'm at with several projects, because why not? So, 2020 has been weird. I think we can agree on that. Not gonna continue lamenting because it is too easy to lament. So let's just refocus. For 2021, my focus and my goal is to screw up your shelf space if you're a fan of my writing. So that is my kind way of saying, books are coming. So stay tuned for that. So seeing the projects that I have open, I scrounged about and I looked for all the projects that I have, and I turned out having 26 open projects because such is moi. What can I say? This year, finding motivation has been interesting, to put it lightly. And I've switched and I stopped and I started and I created new projects just to stay writing. For the blog, I did a bunch of interviews. For this channel, I've done music, I've done other stuff. Anything just to keep me active and productive and, I don't know, not feeling like I'm lost in space. So, this video is in part to say all I have, and get some accountability on this side of the table, because I did have a lot of plans for 2020, but obviously everything was derailed. And knowing that 2021 might start off similar, but knowing what we have to do and how we can adapt and what I want to do. And, I think it took a long time, and we're still adapting in terms of what I'll be doing and just how to respond to everything that we're living. This is actually the longest I've been away from home, and it'll continue until it's safe to do so. Some people are flying and traveling and doing whatnot. I don't feel it's prudent. And I saw over the holidays how people were traveling, and I saw the airports, and I was like, what the hell? And more than anything, people go like, I can beat this virus. And it's like, cool, it's quite possible, and odds are in favor of you surviving the virus. That's not the issue. The issue is overtaxing a healthcare system that is on the verge of collapse. But that's dark territory. Let's not talk about that, but I did feel the need to mention it. Not gonna edit it out. So I'm gonna run down the different projects and a guesstimate of the percent that I have completed. And this is by no means precise, this is by no means final, but so you have an idea how varied and crazy this brain is. And who knows, maybe if you react and show more enthusiasm to one project over another, I'll focus better. So there's one called Shots in the Dark, which is a horror short story collection. I hadn't written horror ever in my life, and then about a year and a half ago, I got invited to write in a horror short story collection in Spanish by Libros Econ and my friends over at Libros Econ. Very lovely people. I really hope that things get better so that we can hang out and just do more stuff. So thanks to them, I was able to participate in No Cierres los Ojos 2, which is this buquilla. And I wrote something really creepy, but I had some stories left over, and I kept writing, and I got invited to another collection, a Lovecraftian collection that just released in November called Proyecto Cthulhu. So that's 2 short stories that I've gotten in collections. Yay me. Obviously very different. Obviously tapping into different things. So I have short stories in English and Spanish. Shots in the Dark is in English, because I was like, let's just write horror. So I would say I'm 40% done with that one. And then there's Storytime with JD Estrada. I've been writing short stories for a long time, and I've compiled different ones, and this is gonna be varied. It's gonna be like my relay of rhymes poetry collection, which is the intention of that is to show variety, but it will not include anything horror related, because that's why I have the other one, and because if you want something dark, you want a collection of that. You don't want like a single short story. It's like, oh my god, this was cute and fuzzy, and then something that's gonna make you want to either puke or not sleep well. There's a collection of short stories in Spanish. I would say, 25% done with that one. That sounds about right. I have prepared the document to do the translation of Only Human. It's a tough one, but I want to do it. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's just going to be a matter of getting into the groove and getting into the rhythm and doing it right. I have a lot of projects, and this is just one. Since a lot of my work right now revolves around translating, it's just something that'll help me even in my day-to-day work, because translating Only Human is not going to be an easy task, and my job is not an easy task. But the more that you exercise that muscle, powerful, mighty. Which brings me to book 3 of the Human Cycle, Beyond Human. I just hit a wall, but I do want to finish it this year. I would say that I am, in the first draft terms, I'm like 60 to 65% done. I'm transcribing at a snail's pace for whatever the reason, and I'm going to change that. And I might need beta readers, so by all means, leave a message and drop me a line if you're interested. So, another project that I was working on in terms of translations was 2020 and 2020. The idea was to release them in full English and full Spanish in 2020, but it's just been a weird year. And then I got to thinking, and since I'm not going to include the bilingual poem in the middle, because it doesn't make any sense, taken out of context, if it's all English or all Spanish, it's just going to be in 2020. So I'm going to do 2021, and I'm going to write like a completely new poem specifically for 2021, and one in Spanish, and just translate the entire collection. So this will become 2 other books. So yeah. Not sure what I'm going to do for the cover, but we'll figure it out. There's a project that I had started a long time ago, and I let go. And missing home is easy, and missing the beach is easy. It's a nonfiction one called Learning from Water, and there's a lot of life lessons and a lot of who I am that has been shaped and molded by the waves in life. Good and bad. From the most joyous of joys to true fear, to almost dying twice. So there are lessons. There's Wicked Rhymes, and that one's about 40% done, and that one's a lot of fun. The second volume of the Daydreams on the Sherbet Shore, that was like 60 or 65% done, and that one I think is the one that I'm gonna double down on and hit hard. But I have to talk to the artist to see if we can get on the same page, literally. The cover artist and the interior artist, because the Daydreams on the Sherbet Shore do include paintings of the different characters within the Sherbet Shore, and that I am. This is going to be all over the place. If you have any questions on any of the specific titles or projects that I'm talking about, by all means, use that sexy comment section down below. I do not expect you to know all of this. I have 14 books out, plus 2 books that are only available in physical form. I'm going to see if I can do something with that project. two things that I want to do with that project, but that's another video, another day, another week, another month. Going back to this, I have a nonfiction Spanish one. It's cheeky, and I think we need a little bit of cheek and a little bit of humor and a little bit of motivation. So that's gonna be very Puerto Rican. So if you speak Spanish and you're not from Puerto Rico, you might not understand what I'm talking about, because it's gonna be very Puerto Rican. I'll try to level it out, or do an explanation of our terminology, because we're special. I do have several poetry collection, including one that is motivational, because a while back I got invited to Auroras and Blossoms to participate in that literary magazine. Was able to have one of my poems there. And I was like, you know what, I don't want to leave this at a poem, and I do want a collection that people, go to in case they need a boost. One for love and one for unrequited love. The idea might be to release this for St. Valentine's in case people want to celebrate love or heartbreak. So don't quote me, because February 14th is not that far away. Random poetry collections. I have a couple of ideas. I have several poems, so I'm gonna see what comes up. Haiku collection. I actually have a finished haiku collection from way back, but what I'm doing is that I'm doing the haiku, plus I'm doing my artistic representation of the haiku. I'm not an artist. That's why it's taken so long, because some are kind of rough. It is what it is. I do want to do something as a tribute to mom, even though everything I do is kind of a tribute to mom. The continuation of writing out loud would be more writing out loud, and it's compiling essays from my blog to share, because I think nonfiction has a place, and I do get a lot of enjoyment from nonfiction and the people I connect with thanks to nonfiction. I do have a sci-fi novella that I started writing, and I gave to two friends. They gave me feedback, and feedback was very similar, and I was like, shit. So I've let it go for a long while. I will be reading the book that both of them mentioned, and I will be retaking this mid-year-ish, and just finish it. And it will be what it will be. I think it has merit. I think it's lovely. I don't think it's a knockoff. I think it might start familiar with some things, and then it's like Only Human. It starts familiar, and then it just gets random. I won't say weird, because eventually I'll write something weird. Just random. I do want to do an extension from one of the characters from one of my daydreams. And the Daydreams on the Sherbet Shore, there's actually an episode called Trip to the Kung Fu Circus. And in the Kung Fu Circus, there's a lovely young lass called Origami. She uses origami in a magical way. Plus, we're playing Paper Mario, the Origami King. So, influence much? And it's just, I want something fun and whimsical like that, and I'll have other projects like that. But I already have quite a few. Raining Dead and Tricks and Ladders are the blank comics that I mentioned previously. I mentioned blank comics, but not the specific titles. Raining Dead and Tricks and Ladders are interesting stories, and I want to flesh them out and release them as either short stories or novellas or something. So expect that. I want to begin a middle grade Spanish story of a young lass and something that has to do with magic, because and original, in Spanish. It's not going to be a translation from English to Spanish. It's like in Spanish. If eventually it has success and people translate it, that is awesome. But normally when you read in Spanish, you have to depend for stuff that I like the middle grade fantasies that I like. I have to read translations if I would read them in Spanish, but normally I read them in English. So I want to write something in Spanish that is completely original in Spanish, just as a gift to my people in Puerto Rico and Spanish-speaking people all over the world. I have two other projects that are high fantasies that I need to start organizing better, because I do want to get them into motion, and again, just stuff that I want to chip at the block a bit. I have one that's a historical fantasy, and that was dark but cool, and I'm still jotting down ideas. Again, I have way too many projects, and I'm seeing all of this and seeing what I'm going to focus on. Is what shiny object shines the most, and that's what I'm going to zone in on. And finally, there's one that is going to be random and weird, but cool and dark. And I really want to push myself to create something really original that just, you're like, what the hell is going on, and where are we going? And just something really fresh. And I have several ideas, and a lot of ideas are a lot of raw and crazy ideas are coming in my brain, and that always makes me happy. So I need to capture that. So all in all, that's like 25 or 26 titles. Probably have a couple more around the corner. But this is me saying that out of those, I'm not going to say half, but I'm going to say at least a third of those are going to be brought into fruition in 2021 because I said so. So this is me throwing down the gauntlet, telling you to get ready to go to IKEA or your favorite place to buy a bookshelf, or you can make a book castle, because I have no intention of slowing down. Will things change? Will work coming the way and stuff like that? Stuff happens, but I'm more stubborn going into 2021 than I was in March of this year. So until next time, peace, love, and Maggie rules. Cheers. If you have any questions on these comments, on these projects, by all means let me know. Until next time, stay classy.